Park Yeol was a Korean anarchist and an independent activist who was convicted of high treason in Japan for conspiring to attack the Imperial House of Japan. Park Yeol attended high school in Seoul but was forced to leave in 1919 due to his suspected participation in the March 1st movement, 3.1운동. Then he moved to Japan. After moving to Tokyo, Japan, to continue his education, Park Yeol interacted with socialists and anarchists in Japan. He also met other student activists and formed his own anarchist group called Huteisha, meaning the outlaws. And one notable member of the group was Fumiko Kaneko. Park Yeol and Fumiko Kaneko subsequently became lovers. By the way, Park Yeol was arrested without charges on September 2nd, 1923 after the Great Kanto Earthquake. The Great Kanto Earthquake, or 관동대지진 in Korean, struck the Kanto Plain on the main Japanese island of Honshu at 11:58 a.m. on Saturday, September 1st, 1923. The earthquake lasted 4 to 10 minutes. The earthquake had a magnitude of 7.9. Extensive firestorms and even a fire tornado added to the death toll. When the earthquake was taking place, buildings were collapsing in all directions, and in a few minutes, nothing could be seen for clouds of dust. This earthquake devastated Tokyo, the port city of Yokohama, and the surrounding prefectures of Chiba, Kanagawa, and Shizuoka, and caused widespread damage throughout the Kanto region. This earthquake's force was so great that in Kamakura, over 60 kilometers or 37 miles from the epicenter, it moved the Great Buddha statue, which weighs about 121 tons, almost 60 centimeters. Estimated casualties totaled about 142,800 deaths, including about 40,000 who went missing and were presumed dead. Over 570,000 homes were destroyed, leaving an estimated 1.9 million homeless. By the way, ethnic Koreans were massacred after the earthquake. The Home Ministry declared martial law and ordered all sectional police chiefs to make maintenance of order and security a top priority. Then a false rumor was spread that Koreans were taking advantage of the disaster, committing arson and robbery. In the confusion after the earthquake, mass murder of Koreans by mobs occurred in urban Tokyo and Yokohama, fueled by rumors of rebellion and sabotage. The government reported 231 Koreans were killed by mobs in Tokyo and Yokohama in the first week of September. Independent reports said the number of deaths was far higher, ranging from 6,000 to 10,000. Moreover, anyone mistakenly identified as Korean, such as Chinese and Japanese speakers of some regional dialects, suffered the same fate. And in several documented cases, soldiers and policemen participated in the killings as well. And in other cases, authorities handed groups of Koreans over to local vigilantes who proceeded to kill them. Socialists, anarchists, and the Chinese communal leader were abducted and killed by the local police and imperial army, who claimed the radicals intend to use the crisis as an opportunity to overthrow the Japanese government. Park Yeol was arrested without charge on September 2nd, 1923, after the Great Kanto Earthquake. 2 days later, Fumiko Kaneko was also detained by police. Based on scene evidence, Park Yeol and Fumiko Kaneko were eventually charged with high treason for plotting a bomb attack upon the wedding of Crown Prince Hirohito. For your information, Hirohito was the 124th Emperor of Japan. He was the emperor from December 25, 1926 to January 7, 1989. After Japan's surrender, Hirohito was now prosecuted for war crimes, but his degree of involvement in wartime decisions remained controversial. Both were convicted and sentenced to death on March 25, 1926, but their sentences were commuted to life imprisonment by the Emperor Showa. By the way, Hirohito is the Emperor Showa. Instead of accepting this pardon, Fumiko Kaneko tore it up and refused to thank the emperor. And Fumiko Kaneko died in prison on July 23, 1926, reportedly by suicide. After 22 years in prison, Park Yeol was released in October 1945. And then Park Yeol returned to Korea in 1949. In 1950, he was captured by North Korean army and died in North Korea on January 17, 1974.